It's hard. It's tough. You do realise quite quickly it can be quite a lonely, isolating job, full of pressure, full of stress and full of anxiety, and it took a while to work that out. We hit the 2019 season just not prepared for what the game was going to demand, and at that point I knew it was going to be a challenge because we had expectation, we had pressure, we had a supporter base that finally believed in what was possible as a footy club, but I also understood that it was going to be really hard to deliver on that expectation. When we started to tumble down the ladder and lose games of footy, there was no doubt I started to become more of a recluse. I started to lose the passion for the game. It probably didn't hit me until that press conference when I was standing there talking and trying to answer a question and I couldn't get the words out of my mouth.
You come off a few weeks. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. You're right.
At the time I didn't know what had happened, and when we broke it down it was that I just wasn't coping with the pressure and the stress and the anxiety that had come over me, and I had to start to really address some of the things that were going on in my life and where I was as an individual. If you are feeling stress, you have got anxiety, you've got pressure, you feel your mental health starting to deteriorate, talk and communicate. One thing I'd had through 20 years of my football career was that I had a real love for the game. I needed to go away and reflect on how I could get that back and how I could actually start to deal with the pressure and the stress of senior coaching. So I went on a self-discovery process. I went to a retreat in Bali to start to understand some different elements. And then I went and got some mentors that were just in a different field. And that's what I found, that there's this personal journey that you go on to find out what's going to work for you and how you can actually deal with ultimately being the best version of yourself. I felt instantly my energy levels pick up, my passion. And I think when I walked back into the club at the start of 2020, the players could feel that as well. You go through that personal journey and you can understand that a lot of players would be in a similar situation. They're certainly not immune to the stresses and the pressures and the things that come with our industry, and be able to help them and share my personal experience will hopefully build that connection and understanding moving forward. I've got a great network of friends and family and people that understand me and will tap into me and converse to myself. I certainly understand my mates and my family and my people that are in my little community, and I can recognise when they're struggling just to pick up the phone and call them. It's being able to recognise those signs really quickly with people and just to check in and ask how they're going. To go through another situation this year where there was a lot of scrutiny, stress, pressure publicly was another challenge. I feel like I was so much better positioned this time around to be able to deal with that. And it was a really simple process, was to go back to my routine, tap into my support networks. And it was incredible, my support networks, how many people rang me to check in on me to see how I was tracking. And the signs of being a recluse and being lonely and retreating weren't there. I think with 8 minutes to go in the game, the emotions started to pour out. I don't cry often, but the tears were starting to flow. Your mind starts to straight away go to the people that had helped build the footy club, both past and present. And there were so many, and it was such a challenge.
At the final bell, it's a brand new flag. Melbourne are premiers in 2021.
To be involved in a footy club that no one thought could win, that everyone thought was impossible, and it wasn't easy. It was a tough ride, it was a tough challenge, both personally and also as a footy club. But we got there, and it was very fulfilling.